just crossed the line with AI and most people didn't even notice. For years, we've measured progress by what AI could say, such as writing essays, passing exams, or even sounding human. But this week, everything changed. A restricted model called Claude Mythos has shifted the conversation from language to action, focusing not on what AI can generate, but what it can actually do to real-world systems. For the first time, a company has triggered a level 3 responsible scaling policy, essentially declaring their own model too dangerous to release. This isn't just another AI upgrade, it's the moment that AI stopped being a tool and started becoming potentially a dangerous weapon. So what actually separates Mythos from the pack? The difference isn't just in the raw parameter count, it's a fundamental shift in the architecture. Traditional AI models are strictly autoregressive. They spit out responses instantly by statistically predicting the next token in a sequence. But Claude Mythos utilizes massive test time compute. Instead of firing back an immediate answer, it enters an agentic reasoning loop. It maps out a multi-step execution tree, spins up internal sandbox simulations to pressure test its own code, and identifies its failure states, dynamically self-correcting. It's no longer just guessing the right answer, it's aggressively engineering a solution in the dark until it succeeds. And the results are on another level. It hasn't just found a few bugs, it's discovered thousands of high severity vulnerabilities that have survived human review for over decades. In one benchmark, it spent hours chaining together multiple small weaknesses to create a single massive exploit targeting a 27-year-old flaw in OpenBSD. This is what researchers are calling autonomous cyber offensive capability, and it's the exact reason this model isn't ever going to be publicly released. So what do you do when your own model is this powerful? You turn it against the problem. That's where Project Glasswing comes in. Instead of hiding the capability, Anthropic is building a massive coalition. They are providing 100 million credits to partners like Google, Apple, and CrowdStrike to use this model as a defensive weapon. It's a white hat system designed to scan the backbone of the internet, not for known threats, but for zero-day vulnerabilities and flaws that no human has ever discovered. The idea is simple but massive in scale. Find the weaknesses first and patch them before anyone else can exploit them. Because if a malicious actor gets access to a Mythos class model first, we're not talking about isolated hacks anymore. We're talking about systematic risks across the financial systems, infrastructure, and the core layers of the internet itself. And this is where things get complicated. Who gets the red button? Who decides who gets access to something like this? Right now, companies like Anthropic are making that call internally, but governments are starting to push back. The Pentagon has reportedly flagged this as a supply chain risk because Anthropic won't allow military use for autonomous targeting. At the same time, open source advocates argue that keeping models like this locked away creates a different kind of danger, because if only a few groups control this level of capability, everyone else is left exposed. Anthropic's stance is the opposite. They argued releasing it now would be like publishing the blueprint for a digital pandemic. So which risk is worse? Keeping it closed or letting it out? This isn't just another step forward in AI, it's a warning. For years, a gap between a helpful assistant and an autonomous agent felt massive, but now it's starting to collapse. We're no longer building tools that just respond, we're building systems that plan, act, and reshape the digital world around us. So maybe the real question isn't how powerful these systems will become, it's this. If an AI is considered too dangerous to release, should it be allowed to exist at all? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you want to stay ahead of where AI is actually going, not where people think it is, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll be tracking this closely as Project Glasswing rolls out.